Sometimes there's news for Call of Duty that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but also isn't necessarily a good thing. And I think this news kind of goes into that category, at least in my opinion. So we have some new leaks. Again, they're leaks, rumors, whatever you want to call them. So they're not official, they're not confirmed, but they're coming from reliable people. I honestly believe them. These leaks make a lot of sense. So I'm gonna say this is probably true, but of course it's not confirmed, and we don't know exactly what this will cause for the COD franchise, but I don't really know if it's a good or a bad thing. These rumors are essentially saying that for COD World War II Vanguard, the next Call of Duty coming out this year in fall, will have a zombies mode, and it will be developed by Treyarch and Sledgehammer Games. So what that sounds like to me, what most likely happened was that Sledgehammer is obviously still working on this game. They've probably been working on it for about a year or two now, maybe like a year and a half, not too sure exactly how long, but obviously there's been a lot of development issues. I'm sure they're working hard on the campaign. There's been a lot of talk about the multiplayer having a ton of issues as well. But when it comes to zombies, everyone was speculating, is there even going to be zombies? Is there going to be some Spec Ops mode? Is it just not going to have a third mode? But it does sound like we are getting zombies, but they took Treyarch to help out on the project. Now, I'm not sure exactly what that entails. Is it the entirety of the Treyarch Zombies team working over there, or is it just part of the Treyarch team? I'm not too sure, but this honestly could explain a lot. And it could explain why Cold War Zombies isn't getting as much content as a lot of us were kind of hoping for. Now, again, we don't have all that much information, so we're going to have to speculate a little bit here. If we're getting this information, I have a feeling Treyarch maybe started working with Sledgehammer on zombies within the past few months, maybe for a month or two, I don't know. And that could be why they're taking a long time to come out with their next map, with the Berlin map we're all very excited for. That is obviously a big issue then. They're taking hands away from Cold War and having a lot of them work on the next game for World War II Vanguard because Activision wants to make sure that game is at least playable, especially because people are actually loving Cold War Zombies right now, despite the fact that it's obviously not got that much content. A lot of people love the mechanics and they just love playing it and grinding out for camos and leveling up weapons and stuff. Personally, I'm really disappointed with it for a lot of reasons. And I do think it has a lack of content because I'm not the type of player who wants to sit in the same couple maps every now and then and just grind for camos and stuff. That's not the type of player I want to be. I want variety and I want to have a lot of things to do on the maps themselves. I just don't feel like these maps have a lot to them. I know a lot of people don't really care though because most players are casual. They can hop in any of these maps. They can have their Outbreak maps. People on PlayStation have all the Onslaught maps. There's tons of options for them. But for a player like myself who just wants to do Easter eggs, I don't have many options right now. Because I'm sure it takes a lot longer to work on a completely brand new zombies mode in a completely brand new game than it would to just make another couple maps for Cold War. So what I'm expecting to happen is we're maybe going to get another 2 or 3 main maps for Cold War, and then that's it. They're just going to drop Cold War Zombies, and we're done with it, right? And then we have to move on to World War II Vanguard in the fall, and we're going to have maps that are going to be developed by Sledgehammer and Treyarch. Now, having 2 teams working on a zombies mode, I think they can do some really cool things, and that's why I am very excited for what they can do with World War II Vanguard, but I just hate how Call of Duty works in this way where we have to sacrifice everything for other things. It always happens. Black Ops 4 took massive sacrifices in order for Cold War to be able to release. Every COD has been doing this as of lately. It's like the developers just don't get a damn break, and I want them to have a break. I want them to have time to breathe and just relax, but the problem is Activision wants to push out these games yearly, and the only way we're going to get a lot of content is if they sacrifice content for other games. I don't like that. And I don't also think I want to wait years for new CODs either. You know, a lot of people say, oh, well, why don't we do a 2-year release cycle rather than having a new COD every year? Well, then think about that. We're not going to get the next Treyarch game until like 2025 or 2026 if they were to start doing that now. And by that time, I'll be like 26 years old. I'll probably almost be married at that point. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'll even be playing Call of Duty anymore. So when you think about it, you're like, do you really want to wait that long for new COD games? I don't know. I feel like we would get bored of the current ones, but at the same time, they need to spend some more time working on these games or they're going to launch in these states where there's barely anything to do and we feel disappointed by it. Back then, yes, the games all were the same way. They didn't have that much content. Like people act like, oh, the old Call of Duty had so much more than the current ones, and it's not really true. But as time goes on, especially with how gaming is nowadays, where people really need a lot of content to keep themselves fulfilled, they have to have a lot of substance to it, and right now it doesn't have that much substance to it. Also, this could affect Treyarch's next game, which will likely come out in 2023, which I was very excited for. I still am, obviously, but I was really excited, hopefully, for them to have a solid, 3 years to develop the game, and it could be a really solid COD entry, because Treyarch has really not had that many games where they've had an ample amount of time to create it. They always have these development issues that cause them to have less time for whatever reason, which is frustrating because Treyarch is by far my favorite studio when it comes to their design and how they make their games, but they always have these cuts of time, so that usually launch it in like a unpolished state, and it takes a couple months for the game to really feel good. And I just want it to be that way as soon as humanly possible, so we can just love these games throughout its entire life cycle. Obviously, COD is this new model now where they're kind of, I guess, live servicey in a way, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing. It does keep people, retentive to playing the games again and again and again, because there's updates consistently adding stuff. Like at launch, these games are usually bare bones, but within a few months, they feel pretty solid. I'd say Cold War multiplayer right now has a decent amount of content. Zombies is a different story, and again, I don't know if this is what's causing zombies to have a lack of content, or if there's another reason, I don't know. But like I said, this could affect Treyarch's next game. If they're helping, or I don't know if they're helping or even leading it, we have no idea. If they're leading or working on this next Call of Duty, is that going to take away the development time that they could be putting towards their next Zombies mode in 2023? And what's going to happen with Modern Warfare 2022? I don't know. But this is all speculation. Obviously, there can be a lot of things they can do to make it work. And I would think the best way to do that, and the only thing they really need to do, is just get more people. I don't think it's rocket science. They need more developers. If they had enough developers, this wouldn't be an issue. And I don't know if they do. That's a big chance they do, and maybe this is not affecting their development time at all because they have more developers now. Maybe they have the same amount of developers working on Treyarch Zombies for Cold War as they did before, but they just got a whole bunch of new people, so they kind of like split up the workload a little bit, and then they have people working from Treyarch Zombies team, they have them working over on WWII Vanguard, helping out there. That's very possible. I'm not saying that this is, guaranteed a bad thing, because we don't really know all the information. That's why I'm sitting here saying this could be a good thing, this could be a bad thing. I have no idea. To me, I'm still excited because at least hints at the fact that WWII Vanguard will have zombies, which was something I was originally kind of nervous about. I was thinking maybe they won't have zombies, maybe we're only going to get zombies in Treyarch's games, and I didn't want that. I want to see more zombies modes, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But one thing that I do think might be a little disappointing is that one of the reasons I really like having zombies every year is because I like seeing different takes on it. I like seeing how different development teams can put together a zombies mode, but because Treyarch is probably mostly working on this next mode, I'm expecting it to be very similar to Cold War, especially because of how successful Cold War Zombies is. I wouldn't be surprised if it even continues on with the story, which I don't really mind if it continues on with the story, that's fine. But what I'm worried about is that the gameplay is going to be really similar, and I don't know, I don't hate the gameplay in Cold War or anything. I think the gameplay is mostly solid in terms of the mechanics and such, but I just want different stuff. That's why I really liked the innovations Black Ops 4 made, even though, I didn't love all the innovations. I don't think most people did, but I at least appreciated them going a different direction and changing it up a little bit. And I also loved how Infinite Warfare did a lot of different things, WWII Zombies did a lot of different things, even Advanced Warfare did a lot of different things, even though I didn't like Advanced Warfare's Exo Zombies. At least they tried something different. I kind of like that sometimes, and sometimes it can work. Sometimes it can work when they try different things. Infinite Warfare is a good example of that. They tried a ton of new things in there, and it really did work for me. And I really want them to explore and experiment a little bit with these other COD titles, so that maybe Treyarch's next game can kind of perfect some of these ideas that they explore. But I have a feeling they're going to play it very safe, and it's just going to feel like Cold War Zombies Year 2, just within WWII Vanguard with WWII weapons, assuming that's what it's going to be like. I really do think that will be what it's going to be like. So again, hopefully it's going to turn out okay. Hopefully it's not going to be a problem. Hopefully they can still give us a decent amount of content for Cold War Zombies, but I'm not really holding out much hope. There's been a lot of rumors that apparently there's only going to be like 2 more maps, like 2 more actual maps for the game, which is ridiculous if that's the case. If that's the case, I'm going to be completely floored if we're just going to get Berlin, and then apparently there's this other map that's codenamed like the Giant right now, or some kind of something related to Deriz, at least. I don't know. I'll be incredibly disappointed if that's the case. Hopefully that's not true. Hopefully we do get a couple more maps. Like, where's Transit Diaries Buried remakes? We've been asking for those since Black Ops 4. They've been leaked and rumored since Black Ops 4. Just drop those in Cold War, or drop them in some game. I don't know. You got to give us it eventually. And then I'm just excited to see what happens. I am. As much as I'm worried for a lot of these reasons, I'm still very excited. So hopefully you all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.